Welcome back, 7:45. When you're checking off a gift from your holiday shopping list this year, make sure you check it twice for safety when you're buying toys for young children. And joining me now is Dr. Jennifer Parkinson with Ochsner with some tips on how to choose toys wisely for the kids. You know, a lot of parents just go shopping, they don't even think twice about it. They see something that looks good and they buy it, but you really need to read the labels on toys. Why is that so important?
Well, not only will your label give you an idea of what is the appropriateness for this toy and what age group, but it'll also give you some idea about the safety. It should give you an idea if it's a choking hazard to a child, whether there are toxic materials, and it's a very important thing to look at before you purchase a toy.
Okay, you've got some examples here of what not to do or what
not to do.
Okay.
Here is a toy that for a young child would be very inappropriate. You can see the buttons are getting ready to be pulled out and can be a choking hazard. Generally, the good rule of thumb for a child less than 3 is that the toy not be any more than 1.25 inches in diameter or 2.5 inches in length. And this is small. You have to keep in mind that not only do you have to buy appropriately for a young child, but you have to watch out for what the older children in the household have around. Here's a toy that would be good for a toddler. It's large, it has soft plastic, that's not going to splinter and break off and be a hazard to a young child.
Okay. What else you got here? This is another example.
I've got another one of that. Here's one where the length of the string is too long. This can be a choking hazard to a baby. It should be no more than a foot in length.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to go through that toy box, those toys that were great when you were a child, not necessarily what you would want for your child.
And that's something you could adjust. If you saw that, you could just cut that string down. Okay, so what about the toys being lead-free? Because we've heard so much about toys coming from China and other countries.
Absolutely. And every toy should have some kind of a label on it that will give you an idea of the appropriateness of the materials, whether they're appropriate for a child, if there's any lead in it, and you do want to check that. And you have to be careful when you're buying toys that aren't manufactured and labeled appropriately. Sometimes fairs and things like that, you need to watch and make sure that those are of the appropriate material for children.
Okay, and the fabric toys should be labeled?
Fabric toys should be labeled. They shouldn't be they should be flame resistant. They should be tightly knit, and they should be washable. You want to be able to wash your toy. If they say it can't be washed, it shouldn't be in the mouth of a young toddler.
What about those noisy toys? Because I tell you what,
that's right.
I used to take them and throw them away after a certain amount of time.
They can be a danger to children. The noise level can injure those ears, and you want to make sure that they're not too loud and that the child is using it appropriately. So you want to watch how a child is playing with a toy. Make sure that that child is interacting with the toy appropriately. If it's a loud toy that they're putting right up to their ear, move that toy away and offer another one instead.
Okay, a lot of toys come in plastic wrappings, and you really don't think that you should really just kind of throw those away,
right? You do. You need to throw the wrapping away. A good rule of thumb is as soon as a present is opened, get rid of the ribbons and the plastic. Those can be a danger to a child. Balloons are also a choking hazard to children in the holiday season, so you want to make sure that the balloons are taken away, strings are removed, ribbons, all thrown into an area that is not accessible to a young child. That could be a choking hazard to them.
And how important is it to really make sure that your child's toys are age appropriate if you have different age siblings in the house?
Absolutely. Older children are going to have small parts in some of their toys. Batteries, again, a hazard to young children. So you have to be pretty vigilant. I always recommend that parents get on their hands and knees and kind of crawl around the house for a while and see what's on the floor that these young babies can get a hold of.
A lot to think about as you go holiday shopping for toys. Dr. Jennifer Parkinson, thanks for being here this morning.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate it.